program was recorded at RILA's annual logistics conference in Orlando, Florida. I'm pleased to welcome Editor-in-Chief of SupplyChainBrain, Russell Goodman.
Supply chain reliability. Joining us for a conversation on that today is Kelly Abney, Vice President, Corporate Transportation, Walmart. Welcome, Kelly.
Thank you, Russell.
Kelly, I understand that Walmart is undertaking a significant effort to convert freight terms this year. What can you tell us about that? What's the status of that? What's going on?
Well, Russell, Walmart is known for optimization in its supply chain network. We've worked over the last 10 years expanding a network really tenfold. And during that process, most of our focus was building distribution centers to facilitate the growth of our store network. Well, domestically now, we have slowed a little bit the store growth that we're experiencing, and that's given us the time to really focus on transportation, in this case, particularly the inbound piece of our business. And when we looked at that, what we found is that we really didn't control more than about 40% of all of those inbound moves. And by converting freight terms, we feel that we're going to be able to have a new look at that network and start working on optimizing that side of our business.
Post-conversion, though, what kind of benefits do you think that Walmart, or more particularly its supply chain, will see?
Well, visibility in inbound transportation is really what it's all about, Russell. And you can't manage, you can't optimize what you can't, or control what you can't see. And with 60% of our freight being controlled by our supplier base, we were missing and are missing a lot of opportunities to really manage and optimize that supply chain from supplier all the way to our store. And on our grocery side of our world, which is really the fastest growing piece of the Walmart business today, that equation was even more pronounced. It was about a 20 to 80% collect versus prepaid mix. So we've got a lot of opportunity there that we're going to go after throughout this year, really started last year, but throughout this year and into next year.
Let's look at this, though, from the perspective of your supplier carrier partners. What is in it for them? Why would they want to participate?
Well, Russell, good question. It's one that we have had that question asked by our supplier base. And one of, as I mentioned initially, core competencies that we feel we have at Walmart is logistics and transportation, supply chain in general. That is not always the core competency of our suppliers, particularly those that are maybe medium or smaller size. They don't have the industry leverage that we do to truly go out and bring the attention to bear on that piece of the business. What they're good at, what their core competencies are manufacturing great products that we bring into our stores. So we feel that by managing that for them, that we really allow them to do what they're good at, and then we also can do what we're good at.
Are you confident that your conversion program is aligned with Walmart's new supply chain reliability and must arrive by date expectations?
Well, that has been since we began that process in February, we've had a lot of questions from our supplier base about MABD and how can I be assured that I won't be penalized if I can't deliver within the time frames that the program calls for. And conversion is one way that a supplier can completely step back and at least eliminate a big exposure point for those penalties. If you as a supplier have the freight ready, it's you're shipping it in full and it's setting on the dock and at the appointed pickup time, then you do not have to worry about a penalty from that point forward, because Walmart takes responsibility for that link between the supplier and the distribution center, which many times is kind of that exposure area that a carrier has. And again, we take that on, eliminate that exposure for the supplier.
I suppose among some of the viewers there might be Walmart watchers that would say, well, we know that Walmart has one of the largest private domestic fleets operating today. Isn't this conversion process that Kelly is talking about really just a mechanism for driving more business through that channel?
Well, our private fleet today is sized for what is its primary duty, which is outbound store delivery from our regional distribution centers. We do not currently have any plans to grow the private fleet. hire more drivers. We will always be replacing equipment, upgrading, looking to become more environmentally friendly. But the size of the fleet is where it's where we want it to be, and it is almost fully employed. So there is actually very little opportunity for the private fleet to take on any new business associated with conversion, because essentially, again, they are fully employed.
Now, looking at other carriers again for just a moment, looking at it from their perspective, I'm sure they are keenly interested in network changes that are going to accompany the conversion process you're talking about. What are you doing to take into consideration their concerns, and how are those changes going to be executed?
Well, Russell, that is probably the most important question that you've asked me today for one primary reason. The one thing that we have to avoid in the conversion process is a breakdown in service. Clearly, we expect service to be as good or better post-conversion. And one of the other issues that occurs if we have a significant change in carrier networks that could ripple across the entire United States is an exposure for service problems. So our goal is to work with the incumbent carriers at whether they're distribution centers or manufacturing facilities that a supplier has today, in hopes of making a conversion with the same carrier. So those trailer pools, drivers, all of those synergies that exist today, we can take on and then optimize. And we are going to work very closely with all of those carrier partners, which, by the way, are the same people that Walmart already deals with today. We move over 2 million shipments annually that we do control before conversion even begins. So this is simply extending a hand to those existing carriers that we are already partners with to ensure that we protect the suppliers and Walmart, and hopefully again improve efficiency throughout the supply chain.
Well, Kelly, this is clearly a significant program going on at Walmart, and we appreciate this look into it. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you.
Kelly Abney, Walmart, talking with us today about supply chain reliability.